Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. We've got the gang here today. Jordan.
Good morning.
Morning. Jaxson. Woo! Oh, hello. You've had your endo today.
Last night.
Yeah. Let's get straight into it as we always do. Jordan, you got your challenge going on this month.
Yep.
It's list 10 or don't get paid.
Yeah, can't wait. Like I said to you yesterday, I'll breeze and I'll do it easy.
We had a lot of people write in how many they thought they'd get.
Yeah. I was dreaming about it last night. I already wrote down 20 this morning.
You list 20?
No, I wrote down 20. I'm not going to list them all, but 20 just that I could think of that I'll go to today.
Oh, yeah? Good. Well, that's good.
That are probably close-ish.
So people have said in there, doesn't he have a reward if he gets to 10? I think
that's my reward to get the 10.
No. Well, they said because there's a punishment, you don't get paid. What's the reward if you do? Let me think about that.
Give me a pat on the back.
Yeah, let me think about that. I've got a few ideas.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Let me ask you, if you were me, what would you be doing right now? If you needed to bank on getting 10 listings this month, where are you going?
I'd do exactly what you just did.
Yeah.
You got 20 hot list people.
Yeah.
You should at least get 5 from that.
Easy 5. And we've got 200, I was thinking last night, 200 MOs. And this isn't about doing the wrong thing by people either. Like, I'm not just going to go get listings just because and like I want to do great business. I want to get good prices and people that are ready I want to bring on and we want to look after their business. But with the 200 appraisals or whatever and looking at the current climate and potentially an interest rate rise towards the end of the year, it's the right thing by people if they're thinking of selling this year to do it sooner rather than later. So that's going to be my conversation.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
And the key for you is to not look for the result. So
this is actually what I was thinking this morning while we're talking, because I never think about, I sort of know what I need to do, but I can't fall into the desperation, I need this, because if I, like you just said, if I do fall into that, I'll push it away and I'll list nothing. So like, how do that's what I'm shooting for, but I also can't change my energy around it. I've got to attract it rather than, well, what do you think?
Very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard to do.
Because I've started doing it. I feel myself going in and out.
Well, you've got like hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
You got hundreds or thousands of people all watching you now.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing update videos.
Yeah.
So, care but not too much.
Yeah.
And every day you've got to say to yourself, what can I do today that's more running along the track than arriving at a destination? So it's sort of like you got to enjoy the train ride, not getting off at the station. It's a different feel. So if you're looking for the station all the time, the train ride's going to feel very long. If you're driving along going, oh, what a cool tunnel. Oh, look at that. Oh, nice tree. Beautiful day. Oh, it's so fast. Great.
Yeah.
And absorbed in the process of it, you'll do it.
I tell you what's something really funny just before we jump into the questions is my mind has gone to that. Like, that's my complete focus. Like, yes, everything else is going to take care of itself around it. But I've had 3 things pop up in my head just today, listings and leads that I actually had half forgotten about, but they just come to me because that's where my mind, you know, when someone turns up here in a yellow Chevy or whatever it is, you haven't seen that in a while, but then you keep going and seeing yellow Chevys everywhere. You probably know what it's called. That's kind of what's happening in my brain now, because that's what I'm looking for. Things are just popping in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's an awareness thing. So your frequencies move to, and that's the whole thing. Like when people want to list 5 or list 10, you've got to be the frequency of it. So it's like, if you doubt, have you ever heard about Helene Hadsell?
No.
Helene Hadsell is a lady that's, I've probably
Maybe.
said to you before, but she's won every competition she's entered.
Oh, yes.
She's like 80 years old. She's probably older now. She's won every competition she's ever entered. Great. It was a CD series that I watched a long time ago, a DVD series. And I think I've read her book as well. And she used to enter the competition. So back then you'd go and write your coupon and send it off for the competition. And then she would go home and wait for the phone to ring, but just know it will ring, not look for it to ring. Just like, they'll ring me when I won. That's what she used to say to herself. And then just get on with the day. And they'd ring and say, hey, you've won a house. She's won everything. She's won every competition she's ever entered. And she was a professional competition enterer. That's what she was.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
She won houses, money, cars, things, everything. And she says if there's the littlest bit of doubt in anything that you do, expect it not to come.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't say this, but it's a frequency thing. The frequency of doubt and the frequency of positive expectation is completely different. So your job now, and I look at you, I'm going, okay, is he going to achieve 10? Your job now is to be excited every day, but hold that excitement and then just make calls and contacts and things and not be, like you said, is this person got something for me? Or has that person got something for me? So think about what you can control. You can control your prospecting calls. You can control your vibe with people in the office. You can control your wow moments, your Manuel moments. You can control all of that. You just got a great video sent to you last night by some people that received your latest report.
Yeah.
They took the time to do a video. That's a good example because they WhatsApped you a video saying, Jordan, this is amazing, handwritten card. Thanks very much. Did you last week, did you set a goal to go and get Nick and Jane to send you a video of a report that you're going to drop off? No. It wasn't planned, but the universe made it happen. So all you could control was, what am I doing today? So you made the effort, get in the zone. You were actually quite excited yesterday or whenever you dropped it off. Get in the zone and go drop 20 reports off, handwritten card with no expectation of the outcome.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. It's not that you don't want it. It's like you put your intention in the universe. The universe always answers. Now you've got to become the like frequency to attract the vibration back to you, and then listings will come. So when you have a record month, that's just momentum that you've built up along the way, and all of these, and you've opened the gates of frequency, and all these people start rushing in. You know yourself when things just one after the other come, and it's like, this is amazing. It's just that you've hit that frequency of those results. That's all it is. But you got to do the work. So you either do the work with anxious desperation, or you do the work with excited, zero expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In myself, I know I'm going to do it. Like I have no bit of doubt. Like, but it's just, I want to see how far I can go. Now I'm thinking, can I do more?
Well, here's the key.
Yeah.
That's a great thing you just said. This is what I've learned over all of these years. If you did 10, whether you do 10 or not, it doesn't matter. That's your, if you, let's say you did 10, now you got to hover there and do it again.
Yeah.
And then do it again and do it for the next year and learn what 10 feels like. And then you're going to have a consistent understanding of the vibration of 10 listings. That's not easy. That's like industry leading results every month. But 10, and you're going to get so used to that vibrational feeling. Because that's why people, have you ever met an angry person that's always angry?
Yeah.
They're used to that frequency. It's not that they want to be angry. They're so used to it. It's like having no money. When people have no money, you could give them $10,000, but they'll go back to no money. It's because they're so used to the frequency of having no money and what that feels like, and then getting up and trying to make it and borrowing it off friends and round Afterpay and all these things.
Yeah.
It's the same. Whereas if they saved $1,000, and they always had $100 in their wallet at all times, they'd actually learn the feeling of slight abundance.
Yeah.
Because now I've got $1,000, it's in there, it's been in there, I've saved it, I've got $100 in my wallet, you can buy most things in the day that you need. Now they get used to that feeling. So when the $100 is gone, let's say it's in there for 6 months, they're like, oh, shivers, I feel a bit like...
Is that like creating a new habit almost? Like, you know how they say, is it 20 or 30 days creates a habit?
21.
It's sort of the same thing. The habit is actually a new energy.
It is.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
Get used to it.
You could apply it to anything in life. Sauntering that I do, now I can get to 30 minutes quite easily, whereas before I get to 16 minutes and I'm like, But I just stayed there and just go up 1 minute when I'm ready though. Not straight away, like stay there. Do 16 minutes for 3 months. You'll know, and then you'll be like, I could do a little bit more. And that there is the secret to everything that you want. Because you've got to learn the vibrational frequency of that first achievement. You don't go from 10 to 20, it's too far. You already list 5, 6, 7, 8 most times.
Yeah.
So it's only a small shift. So now it's a little bit of a stretch, enough to be excited, but not enough to be anxious.
Yeah.
That's the point. And I think 10's appropriate for you.
Yeah, if I said 20, that's like past the realm of like you're right, I'd be sitting here anxious.
You'd be anxious, and you'd be like, and you wouldn't want to do it.
So can I ask you one other thing before we jump into the questions? Do you think that it's good to put your goals out into the universe, but publicly? Because, like, if I set a goal in myself, and I'm not a person like you with ultra discipline, which is probably 95% of people, you're only letting yourself down, right? If I don't tell anybody, I'm only letting myself down. But if I've got a personal trainer, or I've got somebody that's helping me manage my money, or I'm got a coach, or I'm putting out, you know what, in the next 90 days, I'm going to lose 15 kilos or whatever it may be. I think it really helps to because you're not just going to let yourself down, you're sort of letting everyone else down.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your thoughts?
There's two ways to look at this. Language is really important. It's where your vibration is actually up to. So when you hear somebody who is like cranky, that's their vibration. Like they're talking like, oh, okay, here's a good example. So the market, people talk about in real estate, the market all the time. You'll meet one person and go, oh, the market's so tough. The market's, really difficult. How are you finding it? Like that.
Yeah.
And you'll speak to another one, like a James Tosterman, for instance, or a Johnny McGrath. Yeah, the market's great. Like there's lots of buyers around. There's you're taking a little bit more to get them together, but the number of people wanting to buy is like a lot. So it's just a matter of working with them a bit longer. Same market, two different people.
Yeah, two different energies.
Yes.
Two different languages.
That's right. So the person that is vibrationally not in, it's difficult, and you know them, that they're in our market. Like you could speak to two people in our market, one's hating it, one's loving it.
Yeah.
The person that's not so there is, I wouldn't be telling people about their goal because they're not vibrationally aligned with it yet.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. So I would just quietly shift over time. If they want something more, like if they've got no money, they want to be 100 grand in the bank. I wouldn't just start blurting out like, I'm going to have 100 grand. It's irrelevant. What I would slowly do is start looking at people who are doing well already and moving to that energy first. And then the people around you, like me, like for you, me, Ash, Kim, people like that, you'd be like, I really want to list 10 every month consistently. So you would...
So sharing it with a smaller, closer group of people.
Gently talk about it.
Yeah.
Gently talk about it. Until you can feel the energy momentum might be months down the track. You're so sure that you're pumping along that hard. You're like, no, I'm going to go to 20. Whatever. I'm going to go to 15 now. I'm going to, because you're on this wave of energy where you feel like it's almost like you're not announcing it. You're just talking to people about how exciting it is.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
But when you're like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire like that, and you got $10 in the bank, it's not exactly what you want to be doing. You just want to gently learn the art of saving and investing. And then when you've got some real stuff going on, you're like, you say to people, I'm really keen, but only the people who are going to understand and pump you up about
and root
it.
For you, yeah.
Yeah. Most people don't care.
No,
that's what I've learned. Yeah. It's like when you and I talk about, I can talk about to you and Jaxson, my wealth levels. I can talk about my body things. I can talk about my work, my business, anything like that. Because you guys are like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, do it. Like, how can we help you? And that's the sort of people you want to share things with. You get a good exchange of energy backwards and forwards, and it's almost like pumps you up more. But most people would be jealous of you.
Not like Chris when you said, "Oh, we're going for 10 million this year," and he went, exactly. You're never going to do that.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I think. So language is very important to talk about it, I think, but it's to keep your excitement levels going, not to big note yourself in front of people, because most people either don't understand or don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to get into the questions, Jack?
Sure thing.
Hey, Mr. Matt, do you do rest days? Because I am so struggling with them. I love going to the gym. What is your thoughts?
No rest days, but that's just me. So I do one body part. I went training with Big Josh the other day.
Oh yeah.
Big Josh, the man mountain himself.
How was that?
It was good. So it was Saturday afternoon. I said, what are you doing? Do you want to come train at the factory together? He's like, oh, I'd love to. Yeah, so he came up. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Jeez, big.
Is he taller
Massive.
than you?
Yeah, he's like 6'7" or 6'8".
Oh, is he? Yeah, okay.
He's the biggest guy in the world. And he's just big. Like everything about him's big. His pecker's probably just as big too. It's like just big, right? And he's the nicest guy. So it was interesting when he goes to the gym. I said, how do you work out? Because I don't like just people go, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm like, how do you work out? He goes, I do upper body one day, lower body the next. I said, well, what's that? And he's like, he goes, he's in the gym for an hour and a half minimum. He does all of these things. I said, well, okay, well, we're not doing that today. So let's go.
So he only trains 2 days, sorry.
No, he trains every day.
Oh, he goes
But he swaps
upper, lower, upper, lower.
Yeah. And so he'd do more like, I would imagine, like a CrossFit-y type of, all your muscle groups, which is not bad. But I said, do you want to train the way I do? And I've gone back to real slow, super slow, and squeeze. And with a couple more sets. I used to do 2 like that we learnt from Mets, but I do 4 sets, 5 exercises, sometimes 6, depends on how I feel, 1 muscle group. And he goes, what, you just do 1 muscle group? I said, yeah, just 1. And we did triceps only. That's all we did. And so I'm like, do you want to train the way I do and just give it a go? He's like, yeah. So anyway, he was training. And like after a couple, he's like, this is so hard. I'm like, yeah, like, and he's doing it, like, and I'm like, just change this, do this. And we're sort of like a bit of a training session together. And because you can't just do someone else's workout, like you sort of got to learn it a bit. And I was like, mate, squeeze, hold, slow, squeeze, hold the whole way. By the end of it, he's like stuffed, sweating like nothing else. Like, and this is just triceps, like let alone all the other stuff that he would usually do. And, half an hour, 35 minutes. And then we just did 2 sets of abs and he was done. And like, he's a fit guy. He was a pro baseballer in America, fit guy. And, but the reason I have no rest days is what I've learnt is if I do small bits every day, it keeps my mind steady. It's good for your mental stability, good release. Get in there half an hour. I don't want to be in there that much longer as well. So I like that. And by the time you go around your whole body, like it's 1 body part a week, all your whole body. But I do hamstrings on Wednesday. And
so what's the 7 days? 7
Monday
body
chest.
parts? Yeah, chest.
Today, Tuesday is back.
Yeah.
And I'll explain back in a sec. Wednesday is hamstrings because I see Michael on Wednesday as well.
Yeah.
Wednesday is hamstrings. Thursday is arms, bis and tris. It's the only day I do 2 muscle groups. And sometimes I don't do both of them. Sometimes I'll just do 1.
Yeah.
Friday, if I haven't done biceps on Thursday, I'll do shoulders and biceps on Friday. But I'll modify it because biceps are only a small muscle. They don't need half an hour spent on them, 15 minutes maybe. And then Saturday, I'll do traps and like a big trap workout. And then Sunday, I'll do legs. And that's your whole body. So I like that. And because the rest day for me is a bit like, if you need it, take it, but I never need it. I just like that because you're sort of working, opposite muscle groups. You get enough rest time. And I do abs almost every day, 2 sets only. So I did abs at the end of triceps with Josh and he was like, he's all red, he's like red and sweating and this and that, but it's like, it's great. So that's why I don't take any rest days. I do cardios in the morning. If I was going to do a rest day of anything, it would be cardio. Like today I didn't do it because we didn't, but I might do it this afternoon. So like cardio in the morning and 1 body part in the afternoon.
So you won't do cheat meals either?
Never.
Yeah.
I don't eat anything outside of the meal plan now.
Do you think like you're pretty extreme, like very, very extreme? Do you think for the average person, I'd say average, but like maybe having a day off, maybe having a day where you can eat like a little different to your diet is better for consistency and longevity?
No.
No, just do it.
Well, I need it. Like me, myself, I feel like it depends on the person. Like,
I was going to say, it depends on what you want.
Yeah.
I'll lose it if I couldn't train 7 days a week. I like having Sundays off. And that's it. I just don't train Sundays. 6 days a week. But that's me. I've had like 4 days off this week. So it's like varying in between.
And you?
It's interesting. I'm just asking. Well, you know me, I don't do much apart from work, but like I'll train a couple of times here and there just to get my body moving, but there's no fitness goal. We're talking about this the other day. I don't really have a health goal. I just eat as well as I can, train a couple of times, try and move my body, but everything's work-based.
Time in a season, I guess. Yeah.
But like Sunday, I won't completely not work. Like I'll show some properties on Sunday. I'll try not to show properties, but if I get a prompt, I'll pick the phone up. Like it's not like if I'm looking at that like I'm not having a rest day from work. Yeah, I'm trying not to show appointments, but I'll still pick a phone call up.
I was just about to say, that's a good point. I built my career on prospecting. You don't take rest days from prospecting.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Like you're moving. There are tasks that move yourself forward and tasks that don't.
Yeah.
And that's why prospecting, like I would be prospecting when the office was being renovated. When the whole office was being, I think I told you, a whole office was being renovated years and years ago. I had just a desk and a phone in the middle of all the workmen. And I was like, just let me keep calling. And James was like, mate, you've got to get out of the office. And I'm like, no, I need to call. I prospected the day of my first wedding. It was like, yeah, the owner of this things, are you getting married today? I'm like, yeah, I just got to do my prospecting. So it's like, he's like, are you going to be late?
You were just so consistent that it would have felt funny for you not to do it.
Exactly. And that's sort of the thing that you need to do. So that's why I don't take rest days, because I feel like I'm moving myself forward. Your body will tell you.
Yeah.
But I do think a lot of people revert back to I deserve it.
Yeah.
I do.
You're right. You're 100%
I
right.
do.
Yeah.
Like I think people go, oh, look, I've worked really hard the last 5 days. I deserve the chocolate mousse and the thing. If you really looked at what's in that, you just wouldn't eat it. Like I understand it's that 1 second of pleasure, because the reason you're eating a chocolate mousse is for the dopamine hit and the relax, the emotional management of that dessert. Because if you really looked at what's in that, you wouldn't eat that thing.
No.
You don't just get a bag of sugar and start like, oh, yeah. But that's what it is. You know, that's what it actually is. So cream, fat, these things, whatever, dairy, like you just wouldn't eat it. And all of these other things, once you look at food in a certain way, you're like, well, does it belong in me or not? Like I'm trying to go to the best version of me ever. Chocolate mousse isn't going to help me do that. Pizza isn't going to help me do that. I understand there's a time and a place to go out with the kids. Like I've got to go to Fiji with Jaxson and the kids in July, and I'm like, okay, what will I eat? So I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, coconuts, some eggs, maybe. Depends if they've got cream in it.
Surely wherever you're going will be good enough that you can order off the menu. You would think.
Well, I will, but but even that, George, like, how is it cooked? What's it cooked in?
Yeah.
I know it might seem extreme, but I want to live to 93. That's the age I'm going to live to. I've decided. 93, okay?
It's his 94th birthday coming up.
No, I won't be over 93. 93 is when I'm going to live to. So I'm going to be the best version of me all the way through. So what does that mean? You know, Bryce texted me yesterday. I was chasing him up about a key, and he texted me yesterday. Can I read it to you?
Yeah.
He goes, so like, I know Jaxson goes like sometimes, oh, you're just a bit over the top with things. But you're either in or you're out. That's the way I see it. Like you're either going to be a champion real estate agent, you're either going to be a champion thingo. You don't have to be. Well, why not be? Videographer? You know, like if I want to be the best version of myself, what does that actually look like? And then what am I prepared to do around it? Like you can't get the best version of yourself by not being the best disciplined version of yourself. That's how it comes. Discipline is the vehicle to get you there. So the moments that you say, oh yeah, well, you know, I have a cheat day. Think about the words. Are people serious? Think about the words. Cheat day. Cheating what? So just one exam in my HSC, I'm going to cheat. Just one, only one. Why is the word there? Cheat day. I'd rather discipline day. That's the way I see it. I feel more satisfied now being disciplined than I do the other way.
Yeah.
You know, there was the other day I was like, I'd love a pre-workout drink. I'm just not feeling it. Not a hope in hell. I was like, no, what are you thinking about? Stop it. Halfway through the workout, I'm powering along. I did it. In that moment, there is the moment of management. That moment, that one moment. People only do it because they just want to sloth out for a minute. I don't. I want to. That's the next step up. That's where the step is. Right there. It's not when you're feeling great and you're like, oh, I'm just going to go do the workout and I feel amazing. It's the time when you're like, you know what? I could just go and watch Netflix, you know, and sit there and numb my brain and go like this. And I'm like, I don't want to waste the hour. That hour will never come back, ever. I don't want to waste it. That's the way I see it now. Whereas before, go ask me when I was 20, I couldn't care less. I was like, where's my next injection of speed coming from? You know, I just see things differently now. Here's Bryce. He goes, I stopped. I can't call for this one. I stopped drinking coffee. My head's cooked. I feel like I'm coming off meth and I've been sleeping all day. He has like 3, 4, 5 coffees a day. He said, Red's going to swing by. The way I see it now, don't touch the coffee. People like, I've got to walk a fine line here because I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But I've learned there's a reaction, cause and effect. There's a reaction for everything you do. You want the coffee? Talk to Tommy. It restricts your brain blood flow by 40%. Just that alone, let alone dehydration, aging, all that sort of stuff. It does nothing. It's got no nutritional value, 0. So does that belong in for the 1 minute hit? Do I want to lay in bed like Bryce did yesterday feeling like I'm getting off meth? No. So the way I see it now is just drink water. Water is here for coconut water and water. That's all I drink. That's nothing else. So it's like, can I do the other stuff? Yeah, absolutely. John D. Martini, I watched a video with him yesterday. Great guy, very successful guy. He says he only drinks water. He's 70 something. He looks amazing. There's all these things out there and I'm like, hang on a minute. It's like when I got to 50 or thereabouts, I'm like, whoa, hang on. There's all these people out there achieving all these extraordinary things. I knew none of this. I thought being healthy was eating chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I did. And I'm like, hang on, there's people achieving some extraordinary things out there. I just need to tune into that. Then the question is, am I prepared to do that? That's the question, Jordan. So you're sitting here saying, I want to list 10 a month. I'm sitting here thinking, imagine in 3 years, if you learnt the art of listing 10 a month and doing all the stuff that took it there and you held that, you would list 20 a month.
Yeah.
That's where I think now. Because what you're doing today will either pay dividends for tomorrow or it will take you back. And then you've got to manage it. And drinking is exactly that. People go, I'm going to pay the price of drinking. I'm going to do it, have some fun, and spend 3 days recovering. Whoa, that's a big cost to me. A huge. See? That's what I think. Anyway, keep going, Jack. So rest days, no.
I was going to ask, what was I going to ask? Do you see it as losing money as well?
Rest days?
Yeah.
Time's more valuable than money, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Time's way more valuable than money. Time is the most precious thing you have. And how you spend today will decide who you are tomorrow.
How do you stop the on and off wagon approach? Is it because I don't want it that bad or is it because I have a fear of missing out? If you could do 3 things to get you back on track and going again, what would you do? Just something to get me started.
Oh, you guys want to jump in?
I do it all the time.
You do it all the time. You're the king of on and off.
I do it all the time. Well, it's like...
I heard you had a big day on Anzac Day and didn't tell me.
Did not tell you?
Yes, you did.
I told you I was going to the races.
No, I heard you had a big one though.
No, I just drank. I didn't do any drugs. Drug test me right now.
I drug test you.
Yeah, no.
I don't know, Jackson.
I had a few drinks. Who told you I
You had one rule, no drugs.
Didn't do any drug.
Yeah.
I was in bed at like 11 or 10.
Oh,
I swear.
You didn't even come home.
I promise. I stayed at Liv's. We went back to Liv's.
Yeah, please.
Anyway.
You do it so funny.
Yeah, I'll do it like, I'll go on like real hard for like a month or 2 and then like usually I'd either go out and wreck it for a week and then I'll get back on track. But it's like I'll start going good and then go and then like work my way back up again. But it's not like I stop for 6 months and eat crap and whatever. I'll just stop for the weekend and then start again on Monday.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not like, when I first started training and stuff, I saw this major progression. And now it's like, yeah, I'm happy here. So it's like I'll like push hard for the week and then like weekend comes out and I'll do that, or I won't go out one weekend, so the next weekend I can go out. Yeah. I'm still finding my groove with it. So
yeah, I think the time of the season, that's exactly where you're up to, Jordan.
I can only look at it from a career perspective because that's really all I've got to add. But I don't know, I've never gone off in my career because I've been so obsessed by it. But from the beginning, we were talking about me giving up surfing, I think the other day. Like I've given up pretty much everything to work more. But that's just because I want to. But if I go back to when I was doing marketing and doing uni, I hated that. I liked it, but then I didn't, and I liked it and I didn't. So that's probably the on and off that they're talking about. But I wasn't as obsessed with it as I am with real estate and being the best at that. But it was a journey to actually find, no, this is me. This is what I'm supposed to do. So maybe that person needs to just bounce around a little bit till they find something they don't want to turn off.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And if you think what you're saying is you got to have a reason that's big enough. So it's like cheating, cheating on your partner. If you really, really value your partner, you don't cheat. Really, really. Because you don't want to. Dino and Mary have the best relationship I've ever seen in my life. You know, Big Dino?
Yeah.
Best relationship. I said to Dino, this is years ago, I said, how come you never cheated on Mary? He goes, because I would never want to lose what I've got. I'm like, makes no sense. Back then, makes no sense. But I really understand it now. So when you're in that situation where the cost is greater than potentially losing what you got, you won't do it. You just won't do it. So now you couldn't get me to do anything, take drugs, drink, not live the best way I can, gut health, things like this, relationship, all of that. It's because the value around it now is too great. So the on-off is nothing more than building a muscle. I was all over the place when I was younger, everywhere. But you get to I remember having benders and then sitting there feeling so bad. And, this is probably, I don't know, 20 years ago or 15 years ago, trying to do a mind map on how I'm going to never take drugs again. You know what a mind map is? Yeah, like trying to do a mind map like this, drawing it out, like half coming down, feeling terrible. But I wanted it so I couldn't work out why I kept doing it. But the reality is you like it. You actually like it. You like the thrill of it. You like the excitement of it. You like the release of it. Whereas I see the release of it now as you go backwards and then you've got to build it all up to get back to where you were. And I'm like, I'm not going back there for $1 billion. Like, why would I do that? I put all this work in to get to here. So I value the forward progression more than the recovery of it. Because you recover, you will.
Yeah.
I've had such big benders later in life that I couldn't speak properly for like 2 weeks. I'm like, I hope I don't stay like this. That's how it was. And my brain wasn't working properly and all that, but you still do it. It's like, what's it going to take to stop? You'll stop when you value the future enough. That's it.
Yeah.
But you got to build your muscle. It's like you're going to fall off, but you got to get back on. You fall off and get back on. And then slowly over time, if you've got a deep enough desire to sort of get somewhere and be the best you can, then you'll stop eventually. Don't give up on yourself. I think everyone who wants to achieve something good is a little bit weird.
Yep.
There's something weird in them, when they want to push the boundaries. Not everyone's want to be extreme, but I think most people who want to get to number one or achieve something great, there's just a bit of an oddness in them, but that's when you channel it into that. Like you can be the best drug addict or you can be the best at what you do. It's a choice. That's why Jaxson, when you work it out, and you don't keep going on and off and on and off and on and off, you'll become amazing at what you do. Not that you're not now, but you're probably one of the best photographers I've ever seen in my life. Natural gift.
Thanks.
Natural gift. And it's true. I don't give you compliments just for the sake of it.
You don't give me compliments.
I do. Yes, I do. But it's but when you actually find your lane with photography and you're like, I don't want to waste a day from being behind the camera. But at the moment you can be like, oh, who cares? I just wake up half hungover and the thing hide from dad for a day and I'll be right.
Yeah, well, I still shoot and stuff, but it's not like
the cost isn't great.
Yeah, well, I can still shoot if I go out. Go out on a night out, but it's not like I have a job lined up for Mercedes on Sunday morning or but like you're saying, I need to work to that, and then once that comes, then
you do.
You created the mind map for me.
You do. Want it enough? Build the muscle. We got one last question that we're going to read. This lady wants to remain anonymous, and Jax will read the question out.
I think I finally reached the point and have made the decision to stop alcohol, drugs, and vaping. I've just been on a seesaw for the last number of years. I'm trying to find the right course or coach to fix me, but nothing works. Maybe I've just never fully committed to actually changing. I just have this pattern of falling off and self-destruction and then getting back on path and fall off again.
So it's sort of along the lines of what we're talking about. So it fits in really well. All I can say is when you want it, you'll do it. That's it. Like when you want it, you'll do it. And if you think about that, alcohol, vaping, and what was the other one? Drugs?
Yeah, drugs.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's all happening there.
Yeah.
And even with vaping, I find vaping very funny, but it's like just all chemicals, people smoking. But you know why they're doing it? I look at people now very differently. Do you know why they're doing that?
Same as chocolate.
Feeling?
Yeah, the feeling, dopamine hit. That's what they're doing, the dopamine hit. So I see it now. What's the cost of that dopamine hit?
Everything.
There's like hundreds of chemicals in there going like this. So smoke, have you ever stood around a barbecue and inhaled in the smoke and loved it?
Yeah, I love the smell of meat, so yeah.
No, but around the barbecue, like a fire, like a log fire. Do you stand in the way of where the smoke's coming?
No, I don't. No.
No, why?
Well, you shouldn't be breathing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So your lungs are going to be like, all those chemicals in your lungs are going to have some major effects. Major. So when you look at it, is the dopamine hit worth it now? Or is having burnt out, no good lungs when you're 65 and you've got emphysema, and I've seen people with emphysema, they can't breathe. That's the way I see it now. So cause and effect. So what you're doing today, what's the effect later? Everything has a cause and effect. Every single thing in this universe. So the cause of vaping, you're going to end up with problems later. The cause of going for a walk, today, a 30-minute walk, same dopamine hit.
Be great. Yeah.
Same dopamine hit. You're going to have benefit later. So do you want to upswing or downswing? And we talk about coaches. I don't know about coaches. Like I don't rate many coaches.
How come?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they've done it. I don't think many people have actually really. It's hard for me to relate to you because you're in a different life. I'm with you every day. You still don't listen to me half the time, but you got to learn yourself. I think having someone to be a sounding board is all right, but you got to once you find your own path. Like we'll talk real estate coaches. How can someone give you guidance on how to be number one if they've never been number one?
Yeah, I don't think they can.
They might be able to look at, how you're going and give you a bit of feedback and things like that. I think a whole lot of things, like a whole lot of coaches, a whole lot of mentors on videos and things like this is all you need to surround yourself with. But if you want it, you'll do it. That's all it is. And you'll get bits of information. I hate being with a coach and you're with them and you're paying them and you get to a point you don't need them anymore. You don't know what to say to them. It's a bit like that. But I think for a short time, some of them are good.
Yeah.
For a short, the right ones. Have they been there before? Do you aspire to be like them? What have they created that really pumps you up? And you want to get to know that. But you don't need them forever. You just need them for a few months because you'll get to a point where it's like, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you really want something, you'll really do something. Childbirth is a great thing. Ever seen a woman give birth?
Nope.
Freaking the most horrendous thing you've ever seen in your life. It is the most, I've never done it. I can't be a coach on childbirth, even though I've had 7 kids. I've got nothing to do with that part of it. But it is a grueling, grueling process. Grueling. Why do they do it?
Because the win, the benefit, the babies
Worth
outweighs the pain.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. Tara's talking about potentially maybe thinking about another kid down the track. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But having it was the worst experience. But summer is the best in the world. Tara will make that decision herself down the track somewhere. But it's like, do you really want it? That's what I'm more interested in. Jordan, do you really want 10 listings this month?
Me?
Out of 1 to 10?
10.
10.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it.
So you just said it with no thought. 10. So what does that mean you're going to do?
Whatever I need to do to make sure it happens.
Describe it.
Me?
Yeah.
I've got to bring the energy. I've got to bring the momentum. I've got to bring the work ethic. I've got to understand what I need to do, the KPIs to create those opportunities. And then it'll just take care of itself. I need to become 10 listings.
You need to become 10. Okay, great. Yeah. So that's a certain version of something.
Yeah.
Your mate rings you on Saturday night, Jordan, come out for a few lines and a few beers and let's go just absolutely go crazy. Let's go get a hotel room, whatever. What are you going to say?
No, well, I've already said I'm not doing any. I told you I'm not doing a thing for 30 days.
30 days.
You could literally be like, I have a penthouse in Sydney. There's this happening and that happening. You watch. Nothing is going to get in the way of me making sure that this happens.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
See how rock solid that is?
Yeah.
I can feel it, Jordan. Whereas usually you'd be like, sneaking around.
Yeah, we like you said karaoke.
Yeah. Don't tell Matt I'm going out on Saturday. Yeah, exactly right. You're there. But see that conviction? Because you know yourself, how you going to feel at the end of 10 sales?
Yeah, it'd be
10
fantastic.
listings. How are you going to feel
I'll
that?
probably feel the same, but I'll be happy.
Describe it.
Well, I think I'll be like, yeah, cool, I did it. Like, it's more like I like to keep it exciting.
Yeah.
I like, and it'll just be like, yeah, people that train for marathons probably a similar feeling. They train, they make it. They're not a different person, but they've set a goal and they've achieved it.
Do you think you get a dopamine hit of I did it?
Yeah.
It doesn't last long.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yep.
That's
for sure.
That's your 10 listings this month is the best illustration of discipline and excitement and life over anything. It's exactly why people fall off. Because you're not going to get halfway through the month and go, I'm going all right. I'll just go out and have 10 beers. Because that's more exciting. You said it then, you've got to maintain the excitement. So what does that look like? That I'm excited about prospecting. I'm excited about the process. I'm excited about what I can do. I'm excited about this. Now you've got to hold it. Yeah. How many people set a goal and don't complete it?
Most, I would say.
So many.
Yeah.
Why? Because they just don't want it enough and they don't maintain the excitement of it from the beginning all the way until it's done. That's the difference, Jordan. That's why people fall off the wagon, because they find the excitement of going out with, Jaxson said it before, fear of missing out. They find the excitement of going out with their mates on the Saturday in that impulse and not managing it. If you manage the impulse and get through it and weigh up the cost of like, if I go out Saturday night, it means Monday my frequency is going to be different. Tuesday, not going to be feeling that good. I'll have less money. Boom, right there. That's where success is made. Success is not the achievement of it. Success is the decision of it in the moment of managing the impulse that isn't going to help you to grow.
Yeah.
That's what success is.